High drama in the world of golf from all over the globe. We will get to all of it coming up on Golf Central.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Welcome into Golf Central. Matt Adams alongside of major champion Karen Stupples. And what a day we saw at the U.S. Women's Open. Let's take you straight away to the highlights of everything that happened at Trump National Bedminster. First of all, here you see H.J. Choi looking to become the first amateur to win a major championship since 1967. She started the final round trailing by only one shot. And when we pick her up here in the highlights, it's at the 7th hole at this par 3.
And she does not look out of place. She does not look nervous. And she starts out on fire.
Rock solid there. She moves to 10 under in a 2-shot lead. Shen Feng playing with Choi at the 10th hole. Her second shot from 178 yards.
At this point, she knows she has to try and make something happen. She hasn't been doing it with her putter, so she's got to hit the shots close. And that's exactly what she does here.
With a 5-iron in hand, she'd make birdie there and move to 9 under par. Same hole. The amateur Choi, your leader, with this tester for par.
And as you say, this really was the first test that she had, and she doesn't quite get it.
She falls to 9 under par. Sunghyun Park at the 12th hole, this par for her second shot.
And meanwhile, Sunghyun Park is slowly making her way up that leaderboard. This is a player that is yet to win on the LPGA Tour, but has an immense amount of talent, and everybody that watches her play knows that this is exactly where she should be.
She would make birdie there, and she would then join a 3-way tie for the lead. Park at the 15th hole. This is the par 5.
Really hasn't putted well coming down the stretch in LPGA events this year when she's been in contention. Not the case here.
Solo leader now, 10 under par. Choi, one group behind, has this birdie putt at the 15th.
And she hasn't given up. She's still hanging around, still trying to become the first amateur to win this.
She just tied for the lead with that one on 10 under par. Stay with Choi. We're at the par 3 16th. This is the beautiful and dangerous par 3.
And this, water right and short, and the volunteers signing right, never making it.
That would end up resulting in a double bogey and drop to 8 under par. She's now 2 shots off the pace. Park at the 17th hole, approach shot at the par 4.
And Sunghyun Park is known for a high, straight iron shots. This one, no exception, and exactly what was needed at this point.
She would make birdie there. She'd move to 11 under par, and now a 2-shot lead over Feng. Park, though, her second shot, finishing on the 18th. This is a par 5.
She hit a third over the back of the green, needing to make an up and down to secure victory, knew what she had to do, felt the pressure, and came up with a big shot exactly at the right time.
All right, so here is the putt that would seal it. A final round 5 under 67. Park is the U.S. Women's Open champion, waving to the president as she walks by his private box and making her way back to the clubhouse. What drama we saw, and best finishes for Sunghyun Park. There you see the victory for today, but she's been knocking on the door for a long time. After her victory, we heard from Sunghyun Park through her translator.
I think the 67 came out because of my great putting, and because I didn't do well in the first and second, I think definitely my putting has been improved in the third and fourth, and I think that's why I won.
Such a great chance to win last year. What did you learn from the experience of coming so close that you used today to help you win the U.S. Women's Open?
Last year, I was very close to the winning, and also I could have gone to extend more for the play. But this time, because of the value of the experience that I've learned, I think I got more calm. That's why I could focus on this time. So I think that made me to come very close to the winning.
We're stretching our legs away from the desk. Karen, were you surprised with what you saw today?
At the start of the year, Sunghyun Park was always going to be a world beater in my mind. But throughout the course of watching her play on the LPGA Tour, she really didn't show me that kind of standing up to the pressure situation. She would putt very poorly coming down the stretch. Today, however, at the biggest stage in women's golf, this US Women's Open, she was able to come up and make the big putts when she had to. And we're just seeing just some of the examples of what she did coming down the stretch on the back nine. And it was so impressive. She couldn't get the ball in the hole throughout the whole of the year. But at this event, when the pressure was the most, she was able to do it. And I have to think, why is that? Why at this event was she able to do it? And when you think about the history of the US Women's Open in relation to the Korean women's golf in general, I think back to '98 and to Siri Park when she won this championship at Black Wolf Run. And every player says that they aspire to be that person. So I really feel like it gives them extra motivation. Look at that, 9 wins from a country that is relatively new to golf in relation to the rest of the world. It's really so impressive when you think about it. That extra motivation, they all dream of being Siri Park and holding that trophy. Now Sun Hyun Park is.
Very impressive indeed. Let's give you another look at the leaderboard from the U.S. Women's Open. And as you can see, Sun Hyun Park finished 2 shots clear atop the leaderboard. But look who is in second place. H.J. Choi at 9 under. Here she is finishing up the day. What a great way to finish up after 16.
Well, she was all in contention. She was right there, tied for the lead until she put the ball in the water with what I would say was an amateur error. I mean, she went for a whole location that she probably shouldn't have done. But this is so impressive. Only one other winner as an amateur, Catherine Lacoste, and Hye-Jin Choi really put on a great performance. And I expect to see her on the LPGA Tour very soon, as soon as she's old enough.
Well, that was a question I would have for you. If you were giving her advice right now, what would it be?
I would say keep doing what you're doing. Keep playing golf the way you're playing. She's obviously working very hard. But I would also say play on the KLPGA Tour a little bit, because players that play on that tour tend to do really well when they come out on the LPGA. They learn to play professional golf, and that's what I think she'll do.
So not only did we have a great tournament, but we have a lot to look forward to.
Exactly.
As well. Karen, thank you very much. All right, moving over to Brian Bateman, who has won on the PGA Tour. And Brian, I thought we would jump right into the other major championship that concluded today, the Constellation Senior Players Championship. And we start with Bernhard Langer. This man is walking potentially towards history, trying to make 4 straight victories on his resume at this Senior Players Championship. We go to the par 5 5th hole. This is his second shot.
Yeah, just a simple wedge shot here from 100 yards out of the first cut of rough. Judges it perfectly, allowing it to release down to the hole, and he almost makes it, Matty.
He would make birdie, though, and he would get to 20 under par. He would lead by 2. Scott McCarron at the par 4 10th. This is for birdie.
Yeah, and the group ahead, and all really he can do, Matt, starting the day 6 back, is just try to pile on the birdies. And this is a beautiful putt here at the 10th, second birdie in a row.
He'd get to 18 under. He's only 2 shots off the lead at this point. Brant Jobe now at the par 5 12th. This is third.
He lowers his hands, opens the club face. That's the way you get the ball up in the air softly, trickles it down just to the left of the hole. Beautiful chip shot from Jobe. He would make birdie and get to 18 under.
Only 2 off the lead himself. Langer now at the par 3 13th. He needs this for par.
Yeah, bogey free to this point, and this was the first mistake of the day for Bernhard Langer. Drop shot at the 13th.
Leads now only by 1. McCarron at the par 5 16th. He needs this for birdie and a tie for the lead.
You see he's set up a little bit to the right there. Boy, he wanted that one. You saw his knees buckle a little bit.
He's still 1 behind Langer. Here is Langer now at the par 5 16th.
Yeah, just short of the green in 2, and it's a fairly basic chip shot, and he just caught it a little bit heavy.
Was that the turning point?
I think it was. He makes par.
At the 17th, this par 3. Trouble?
And you wonder if this was left over from the par at the 16th, Matt. Trouble right, gets in front of it. The one place he can't miss it on the par 3, and he hits it in the water.
Brant Jobe at the same hole. This is his third shot.
He was left off the tee, then he was short with his second, and this was kind of an indifferent pitch shot. Wasn't quite sure about the lie, but he's still in the golf tournament, so he's got to try to salvage anything that he can, and this is a long putt for bogey. It really gives him a chance on the last hole because he drains it.
He remains still in the mix. He's 17 under now, ahead to the 18th. McCarron is putting for par here. Splits a hole in 2. Now he's your clubhouse leader on the mark of 18 under par. Back to 17. Bernhard Langer needs this for bogey as well.
And this is a huge putt here as well. Just trying to salvage bogey. Quick stroke, misses it left. Double bogey for Bernhard Langer.
Drops him to 17 under. He's now 1 behind Scott McCarron. Second shot at 18. He has to birdie here.
Hardest hole on the golf course. Has to make birdie to tie McCarron. Beautiful drive, and watch this iron shot. Would you expect anything different from Bernhard Langer? Never gives up.
No, I would not. Now, Brant Jobe has this putt for birdie at 18. This is to force his way into a playoff.
Big swing and putt from right to left, and he's got to have it similar to 17. And it just does not fall for Brant Jobe.
He'd finish one back. Now to Bernhard Langer. This to get into a playoff.
I think he knew he pulled it off the bat, Patty. Huge miss for Bernhard Langer. Disappointing finish the last 3 holes.
Victory for Scott McCarron as we take a look at the leaderboard at the Constellation Senior Players Championship. There you see it, a one-shot victory. That it was. Some big names on the first page of the leaderboard, but Scott McCarron, your winner, spoke with our Dave Marr.
Boy, you know, it's tough to put this into words, but I've been working so hard, and we've had a little bit of negative press over the last week, and to overcome all that, Langer myself, to come out here with a win and us battling down to the end, it's just fantastic. To win my first major out here on the Champions Tour, it just feels so good, Dave.
Heard a lot of cheers for you, but also heard a lot of cheers for your caddy, the local caddy on your bag. Please talk about that.
Boy, I tell you what, Evan just did a fantastic job. My caddy, Rich Mayo, his father passed away on Wednesday, Bud Mayo. So, Bud, this one's for you, my friend. We miss him. He used to love watching Rich and I. So it was just, this was really special.
By any measure, that's a huge victory. What was your reaction to today, and how much were you surprised by the way it all played out?
Well, I was very surprised, and I think we all were. Not so much by how well Scott McCarron played, but just how poorly Bernhard Langer played. So don't take anything away from Scott McCarron. 6 back, all he can do is go out and shoot what he did, 6 under par. Bernhard Langer, on the other hand, I was surprised by the way he finished. He's been so strong all year long, and I think the bogey at 13 and then the not up and down for birdie on 16 led to really the biggest mistake of the week, the bad shot on 17.
Do you think that any of this had anything to do with the fact that he was chasing such a significant mark in the history of the PGA Tour champions?
I don't, because I think Bernhard Langer's past all that. I will say this, though. The top 13 on the leaderboard were all in the 60s. There were 11 players that shot in the 60s in the top 13. The 2 that did not was Brant Jobe and Bernhard Langer. Sometimes when you're playing with another competitor that's maybe not playing well, they were kind of feeding off of each other. All the other players that were close to the lead were feeding off each other as well. They were making a bunch of birdies. I think that may have something to do with the difference at the end.
Hey, you know what? From a fan's perspective, you couldn't complain about the drama that we had.
Drama was unbelievable. We loved it.
We did love the drama. Coming up, who did the sun shine on today at the Scottish Open? And did they punch their ticket to the Open at Royal Birkdale? The John Deere Classic proved to be a classic, and there was one golden ticket to Birkdale on offer there as well. Where did it go? And the celebrities at the American Century Championship proved that it wasn't all about past glory. It's all ahead on Golf Central.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the John Deere Classic. Bushnell Golf and the Pro X2 with enhanced slope switch technology.